Mm. Oh, hi, Terry. I'm having grilled chicken for lunch here. Welcome to Times Gone Tech. But don't worry, as exciting as I know you think this video is not about making you watch me eat lunch out by the pool, which is right over there where you can't see it. Back in March, if you were a subscriber or if you've subscribed since then, but you've gone back and watched it, or maybe you haven't, you probably should. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then please do so. I mean, I invite you to. It's free, don't cost you nothing. Really helps me out a lot. But back in March, I started a 5-gallon batch of mead. And here it is, double fermented, settled, aged, and ready to enjoy for the holiday season. Now, if you're living in a tent out in the middle of Timbuktu, and maybe you've never heard of mead, mead is one of, if not the oldest probiotic drinks. I mean, it was enjoyed by the Greeks, the Vikings, the ancient Egyptians, the Saxons, the Gauls. It's been a very important and enjoyed alcoholic beverage right up into the modern times. But mead is different from beer, ale, or other wines. It's not just an alcoholic beverage. You see, honey, which this is brewed from, contains very powerful antimicrobial properties. It's rich in antioxidants. It's rich in B vitamins. In fact, its antimicrobial properties are so strong that it can actually kill off certain pathogens that are resistant to modern antibiotics. The ancient Egyptians, they would rub it on cuts and scrapes to help prevent infections. It can be used to soothe a sore throat or cough. And the Greeks, they called it the drink of the gods. And they served it to warriors and athletes after a battle or a competition to aid in their recovery. Later, in medieval European times, people who drank mead on a regular basis could actually live up to twice as long as people who didn't. That's because it helps strengthen the immune system, plus all those antibacterial and antimicrobial properties. But you want to remember that the average lifespan in those days was about 30 years. So drinking a glass of mead every day, or drinking mead instead of water, could actually help a person live to be 50, maybe 60 years. It was so important to the overall health and well-being of the family or even an entire village that made it, that they'd kill anybody who came in from the outside trying to learn their secrets. Today, it's been largely replaced by other drinks, but I still call it the drink of the gods. So, this is what the video is really about, not the chicken. What does mead taste like? Well, that's really hard to say. There really isn't any general statement for mead tastes like this. What I can tell you it doesn't taste like is honey, even though that's what it's made from. But it really depends on how it's made, what kind of honey is used, who's making it, the type of yeast that's used. Is it single fermented, double fermented? This is double fermented. How dry is it fermented, or how sweet is it? What it's flavored with, if anything at all. So it can taste like a lot of things. It can taste all light and fruity. It can taste spicy. Or with this batch, since I prefer my mead to be more traditional, unadulterated, the best way I can describe it is think about how the air smells out in the middle of a really deep, dense forest after a hard summer rain. You know, that clean, woodsy, light, musty kind of smell, but in the best way possible. That's what this tastes like. Now, as far as the alcohol content goes, I don't have an ABV gauge. That stands for alcohol by volume gauge. But based on the fact that I double fermented it, I did add a little extra honey after the first inoculation finished out, added some fresh yeast, fermented again, and it's got no sweet taste to it at all. It's even just a tiny hint of tartness on the back of the palate as I'm swallowing it, is telling me that all of that sugar in the honey has been converted into alcohol. And that combined with my, I don't want to say love, that's too strong of a word, but my preference for a glass of good Merlot after dinner every once in a while tells me that this is somewhere between 16 and 20% alcohol. But now that can fool you because it doesn't taste like it's got any alcohol in it at all. But this stuff can have a dinner party doing strip twister real fast. Not that I know anything about playing strip twister. So this is my batch of mead for the year. And obviously I got a lot more than this put back. This is all I wanted to carry out here. One thing that I did learn though is 5 gallons is not enough. I used to make a lot more and I thought I'll just do 5 gallons this year. It'll be plenty. Yeah, right. Get me through the Christmas season. So I think next year, because this is such a healthy drink, and only because it's such a healthy drink, a glass of mead every day keeps the doctor away. I think I'll make up about 20, maybe 30 gallons, doing it like, 5 gallons a batch every month. So that's all for that. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is, if you remember on my previous video, you don't expect me to just stop eating and film. I mean, there's flies out here and stuff's getting cold. In my last video about another BPBS myth, flintlocks automatically discharging randomly on half cock for no reason, complete and total bullshit, right? I did say at the beginning that at least one Larry the Liar would leave a comment insisting that he saw it happen. Yeah, and I got one. Only he changed the story a little bit. But see, the thing about that is it always happens to someone else. It's always them watching someone else. It never happens to them. It's never I. It's always, I saw it happen to someone else one time, which right there raises a red flag that no, you did not. And this guy said it was a CVA kit gun that went off on half cock just by gently touching the trigger. No, it did not, because it's not going to do that. It's still a flintlock, and it's still not going to discharge randomly on half cock. It could have been on full cock, and it could have double set triggers. The back trigger could have been set, and yeah, you just touch the front trigger. Yeah, it's going to go off on full cock. Anyway, he was a little preachy about it, so I had to block him. That's the second subject I wanted to talk about here today. And then I got another one, safety Nazi, health and safety Nazi, started getting really preachy about things like never pouring powder directly down the barrel from the horn, which I do, never priming the pan first, which I do, and he got blocked. And that got me to thinking, it might be a good idea to kind of clear the air about this and explain to y'all about YouTube's block button and why I use it. If you're not a YouTuber, YouTube provides an option, several options about comments, and it helps us who are making videos control the content of these. It helps us control the content of comments about videos on our channel. Now, one is to just simply remove the comment. You can leave the viewer can be subscribed. That's okay. You just take the comment out. If you just feel it's really inappropriate, it's offensive or whatever, it's like some kind of rant about the rise and fall of the American empire, and your channel's about running, spinning wool. I guess you can remove the comment. There's another option that they have though that they call it hide viewer from channel. Now, that's a very polite way of putting it. In old school speak, it's a block button. And what it does is it just blocks or bans that person from your channel completely, permanently, until you go into the settings and reestablish them later if you want to. Even with a search, they won't find you. Now, Facebook has the same thing. You can block people on Facebook. So there's nothing unusual about that. There are people, though, who feel that you should just allow anybody to post any comment they want and just, let it sort itself out. I'm not in that camp. This channel is not a public forum, and it is not a public chat room. It is my personal YouTube channel. And just like if I'm going to upload a video on YouTube, I have to follow their general guidelines, their policies and such about the content and type of video that I can upload. People who are going to post comments about those videos have to follow my requirements, my policies, because it's my channel. I am a free speech advocate, but not total free speech. I do believe that some censorship is not only a good thing, it's absolutely necessary. So, if you want to get blocked from time to contact, there are 3 very quick, easy ways. Now, before I get into that, though, let me go back a bit and stress that I don't block people just for disagreeing with me or for having a different point of view than I do. It's not disagreeing with me, it's how they go about it. There are certain types of people that I might even agree with on occasion, that their personality is just such that out here in the real world, I refuse to tolerate their presence. I just don't tolerate them. So why would I tolerate them on social media, on either my Facebook page or my YouTube channel? So let me explain how to get blocked and why. First, easiest, quickest way, bar none, is to present yourself as a health and safety Nazi. Now, I do things that some people consider to be unsafe, but look here, 70 years old. Look, all my fingers intact, got all my toes. You'll just have to take my word for that, but trust me, they're down there and they all function. Both eyes, not wearing glasses, not wearing an eye patch. Damn wind. Both ears, hearing is normal for my age, which is something everybody wants to hear, right? Pun intended. But actually, my hearing tests out better than a lot of people younger than I am. I do not wear safety glasses as a general rule. I do wear earplugs a lot. I don't wear face masks in public, never did. Don't wear gloves in public, never did. And if you want to disagree with that and you want to post, I always pour the powder into a measure first. I never pour from the horn. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. It's when they start getting preachy about it, when they start getting up on a soapbox, they start getting aggressive and belligerent with it, and start making up, some of the absolute stupidest logic to try and make a point. And then when that doesn't work, just try and bully me into agreeing with them. They get blocked at that point in time. Safety Nazis are a necessary evil that I have to put up with in the workplace. But outside of that environment, I do not have to tolerate either their presence or their opinions, and I don't. Now, along with safety Nazis is health experts, all right? That includes anybody involved in the health industry, period, across the board, all of them. Now, I'm not saying they're all evil, they're not bad, they're not involved in any kind of conspiracy. They are good people, smart people, they're well-intentioned, they really do want to help people, but they've been programmed by a machine to be just drones spewing back out whatever they've been told. And what they've been told is designed to serve the purposes of one entity, the insurance industry. The insurance industry owns the entire federal government, for one, also the entire medical and health industry, the pharmaceutical industry, They also own the legal industry. They got everything in all the cards in their hand. And everything is designed to serve them. The health, there's nothing healthy about the health industry. Okay. I haven't followed a doctor's advice in 40 years. I don't use any prescription medications, don't need any, very rarely ever get sick. There are some good reasons why. When I do, it's mild and I get over it quickly. Got all my own teeth still, my own adult teeth, no gum disease, no caps, no crowns, no implants. Now, who at 70 years old can say that? I know people can, I'm sure you can, but how many other people can say that? I know people in their 20s, half their teeth are gone. They're all implants or false teeth. They probably follow their dentist's advice. So, health and safety Nazis, or just identifies as a health expert, industrial health and hygiene, or anything like that, and you're blocked. It's hasta la vista, baby. No further discussion. You're out. Now, the second group, so the second way to get blocked from Times Gone Tech, is to be a Larry the Liar. Now, remember I said that I got one Larry comment, again, on this previous video, insisting that he saw it happen, and the way he worded it was just ridiculous. Well, I don't know, man. That was a CVA kit gun, so maybe they're built different or something. No, they're not built different, and no, you didn't see it. So he got blocked. Now, Larry the Liar, people sometimes wonder, why does he bother me so much? Because the lies that he tells are almost always universally safety related. They're almost always universally, they have a moral behind the story, which is a safety issue, sometimes legitimate, sometimes not. But I mean, who would be against safety, huh? I mean, come on, who's against safety? It's not about being against safety. It's about being against stupid bullshit safety rules that other people are trying to impose on everybody else because they think it's a good idea. Larry really bothers me because by telling his lies that never happened, he's detracting from any legitimate point that they could have otherwise made. It could actually be a legitimate safety issue, but the lie detracts from that. A legitimate issue can stand on its own merits without the lie. The lie detracts from that. The lie minimizes that. It doesn't help it. Now, mixed in with Larry, and Larry, the interesting thing about Larry, again, the one thing I pointed out before is these stories never happen to them. It's always somebody else. It's always, almost always, a safety-related issue, and it's almost the moral of the story is this other person got hurt because they didn't follow Larry's safety rules. Okay. There's another group in here that's a subgroup of Larry the Liars, because sometimes they turn into Larry the Liars. They're almost, well, they aren't safety Nazis. They're just not wearing the brown shirt. They haven't put the brown shirt on. They aren't goose stepping down the street yet, but they're Nazis. They're safety Nazis. And these are people who have chosen ignorance and superstition over science and fact. Okay. Their entire argument for anything they believe in is, well, you better do this because could, might, possibly, maybe, someday happen, possibly. Which means it's never happened in the history of the human race, but could, might, maybe, possibly, someday happen. So why take a chance? Start following it now. And it's common knowledge. That's another one that their argument is, well, it's just common knowledge, man. Yeah. Common knowledge means it has never happened in the history of the human race. It's never been demonstrated to happen. But everyone, meaning them and their little circle of friends that they associate with, believes that it could actually happen anyway. Could, might, maybe, possibly, but never has, but might. Now, the problem with these people is too many of them, when they were in high school, they skipped out of science class to sit out in the parking lot smoking pot and listening to John Denver tapes, which John Denver was never cool, by the way. And now they know absolutely nothing about physics, but man, they got opinions. They know everything. You better ram that ball all the way down against the powder, or when you shoot, it'll blow up and it'll kill you, or it'll swell up and be, useless. No, actually it won't, because there is no mythological pressure spike when there's an air gap between the ball and the powder. The chamber pressure actually goes down. That's been proven, dumbass. The pressure goes down, muzzle velocity is reduced, range and accuracy is reduced, and that's it. The only one good reason for pushing the ball all the way down against the powder is in order to generate maximum chamber pressure to get maximum muzzle velocity. And that's the only reason. But these people insist on believing it, even though it's been disproven hundreds, if not thousands of times over the past half century or longer. They just insist on believing it anyway. They're like flat earthers. You can't get through to these people. They're going to believe it come hell or high water. And some of these get so bad that they turn into safety Nazis. And then some of them get even worse because their beliefs become almost a religious dogma. And they manage to justify, if they can't convince us with their horrendously bad logic, then they'll make up lies to try and scare us into conforming to their religious safety beliefs. And they become Larry the Liars. So they get blocked too. I don't waste my time trying to talk to these people. You ever hear the expression, you can't fix stupid? Well, you know that the only people in the world who really believe they aren't stupid are the stupid people. So anyone who thinks or says or believes, oh, I ain't stupid, man, that is a genuinely stupid person. Okay? I know I'm stupid. You know, the only question is, how stupid am I? And that just depends on who you ask. So, yeah, anybody who starts anything out with, well, I'm not stupid, bang, you got a stupid person on your hands right there. They think they're the smartest person in the group, they're the sharpest knife in the drawer, and they don't know jack about shit. Okay, so anyway, that's it. I'm running out of time. My chicken's getting cold. I'm going to finish this up, finish my mead. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Mm, 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 mm. This stuff is good even cold. Oh, hell, chicken's good anyway. Grilled chicken is good, however it is. Mm. Mm, mm, mm.